I can't remember, 5th, 6th or 7th, I don't know, 6, 7, sorry. Hello besties, it's Kara, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, do not mind the lighting. I'm losing daylight as we speak. My battery might die, both of them are dead right now. Yes, and if you see the mess in my background, just, you know, we're really going through it this holiday season. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video, we're gonna do something a little bit different than I usually do. I don't know what I did last year, I can't remember, but in 2023, I talked about every single book that I read in 2023. We're not doing that. This year, how I'm gonna do it is I chose my favorite and my least favorite from each month. So I have about 24 books and then a few honorable mentions, which will be like my DNFs. I didn't choose my DNFs as my least fave because I feel like that's just like pretty like an obvious answer. Talking quickly about why I guess I liked them. A lot of these I don't remember. It's been a long year. So I'm gonna try my best to like remember. With all that being said, make sure to follow my socials down below. Love my goodreads, my Amazon wishes, that link there if you want to check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, and me. And let's just get right into this. Alright, starting off with January. My favorite for the month of January was The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. I feel like I just read this book and it has been a year. I actually gave 2 books 5 stars back to back in the month of January. This one and Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, and I chose this one because I liked it a whole lot more. I don't even know why I gave Love Unwritten 5 stars. I have thought about these characters a lot. This is Elle Kennedy's new like spin-off series. I don't know really what it's called, but this is about Gigi Graham and a hockey player named Ryder. Gigi is the kid of Hannah and Garrett Graham from the Off-Campus series. I love that series as well. I remember loving it. I ate this up. I feel like it was a good balance of like romance and real life stuff. I like seeing all the off-campus characters, and I just felt like it wasn't too long. Even though it was like 400 pages, almost 500 pages, I feel like all of that was needed. All of it was good and relevant. I really liked the writing and how everything flowed in this book. I really want to reread it. I love these characters so much. I'm so glad that this was done well. Would recommend. I love this book so much. And then my least favorite, a lot of these books that are my least favorite, I don't have the copy anymore because I've unhauled it over the year, but I will just scoot over here and put up a picture. My least favorite from the month of January was The Hunted Heir by, I think it's Holly Renee. This is the second book in some series. I can't exactly remember like what it is called at this moment. I didn't even really like the first book. It's like a fantasy romance series, but like they're just like very, I don't know how to describe it, like spicy, kind of not a lot of fantasy. I feel like I don't remember anything that happened, but I do remember not liking it. I'm not going to continue with that fantasy romance series. I would not recommend that series like at all. No offense to Miss Holly Renee, but I would skip that series if you're thinking about it. Alright, besties, February. My favorite book from February was Empire of Storms by Sarah Damas. This is the, I can't remember, 5th, 6th or 7th, I don't know, 6, 7, sorry, in the Throne of Glass series, and I read this as the tandem read, so I read Tower of Dawn at the same time and ended up just like really enjoying this one. I can't really talk too much about it, but I really just liked the characters and storyline that this took place about rather than the ones that Tower of Dawn was about. And I don't know, I just overall like these characters in this book a lot more. I liked the multiple point of views. I love just all the characters, and I believe I gave this book like 4.75 5 stars, so it was close to a 5 star, but it wasn't quite. I have been thinking about this book so much and how it ended and how the series is gonna like continue from here. I love this book. Alright, my least favorite book of February was Fall With Me by Becca Mack. This is the 4th book, I think, in the Playing for Keeps series, and I think I gave this like 2 stars. I just felt like this book, like from what I remember, I think on my Goodreads review, I just wrote about this being like kind of long and kind of smutty, but I also just didn't love the characters that this followed. I'll talk about it a little bit later because I have the 5th book, I think it is, mentioned later in this video. I just like forgot how like really cringy this like series and writing is, and I don't know, this one just like was not for me. I didn't love the characters. I didn't just like love overall like how the book went. All right, and we have our first honorable mention. So like I said, honorable mentions are going to be DNFs. Honorable mention is going to be Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. I did DNF this book. I think I made it 120 pages I think in or something. I just really didn't like the plot of this one at all. I just didn't like that he like the entire book was going to be keeping the secret of like buying her company or something, and they were supposed to like have a relationship relationship. Like, I just knew where that was gonna go and just didn't really care to read anything like that. You know what, me and Ellie Hazelwood, I like to say, have a very like toxic on and off relationship. I like some of her books, but I don't like others. Alright, on to March. My favorite book of March was Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles. This is the first book in the Sparrow Fall series, and this series basically, like, overall, just to sum it up, is about the Coulson family. And I think two of like the main characters in this series are actually like biologically a Coulson, and the rest were like fosters that were eventually adopted, and they are all romantic suspenses, which, if you don't know, is kind of like a romance, but like there's a mystery kind of thrilling aspect that are in them as well. This, I think I rated the same as A False Start, which is the last book in the Gold Rush Ranch series, but I felt like I liked this one like more overall, so I decided to pick this one for my favorite of that month. But this was just like my first romantic suspense in a while. I really liked the writing, I liked the small town, I liked the found family, seeing all of the other characters in the family and getting a little glimpse of like their relationship, like possibility, I guess. And it's just like a good like palate cleanser. I like these when I feel like I don't know what to read, but I don't want like a plain old romance. I want to be kind of like on the edge of my seat. I also like just romantic suspense. I found this year that I just like really like them. I can't read like too many back to back because they're all similar. Like, the more I read the series, obviously I read the series throughout the year, they are kind of all the same, but she kind of reminds me a little bit of like Devney Perry. You know, their writing is very similar and just very easy to get through, very bingeable. All right, and my least fave, which it was kind of hard to pick because I think I had like a couple 3 stars. I remembered this book and I'm wondering why I didn't give it like a lower rating because I remember not liking it, and that is King of Sloth by Anna Huang. So this is the 4th book in the Kings of Sin series, and I'm just overall really not liking the series. I don't even know if I'm gonna continue with the series. The only thing I remember liking about this book was the mailman character Xavier's journey. I feel like I remember him like branching off and like finding his own way with like a business, I think, that he wanted to build up and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't really like remember caring at all about the characters. I just feel like these are also all the same because I think there is like a twisted like mystery aspect in these books as well. A little disappointed with this series overall. All right, and now we have another honorable mention, another DNF. I feel like I had like 3 or 4 straight months of DNFs I was going through with this year. The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. I have talked about this like quite a lot, and I'm still getting like people liking my review on Goodreads like to this day about this book. It is the 4th book or something like that in the Dream Harbor series, and this one I just remember being like right off of page 1, instant like attraction, instant lust talk. And I think the whole like premise about this is that this like guy is like a single dad or something, and I don't think he really like knew much about having a child. Like, he did not know he had a child, but then the child's mom like passes away, so now he has to like take care of this child, and the female main character is gonna be like the nanny. The whole time I'm like, where's the part where he connects with his child? You know, it was a little too much like putting on her on the back burner to like talk with this woman. It's just way too instant everything for me. I know that these books are supposed to be fun. The covers are so pretty. There gets to a point, so I had to DNF the series. Like, overall, I just didn't want to continue it. I just don't think the writing style is for me. All right, besties, on to April. My favorite book of April, and probably one of my favorite books of this year overall, was indeed Quicksilver by Callie Hart, and this is the first book in, can't remember the series, Fae and Alchemy, something like that. But I'm sure everybody has heard about this book. Everybody has read this book probably at this point. And since reading this, the 2nd book, Brimstone, has come out. I have not personally read it yet, but everything about this book. I liked the writing, I liked the world, I liked the magical system, I liked King Fisher, I liked our female main character, I loved the found family. It's longer, just a lot about this book I really did enjoy. These are a lot of the aspects that I like in a fantasy romance book. I was like so obsessed with this book, and I still am. I still think about this book often, and I'm excited but nervous to continue with the series. Read it. I so would recommend. I'm so glad that I read this book. And my least fave for the month of April was Body Check by Elle Kennedy. I believe I gave this like 2 stars. This was like a book that I think she like republished or something, and I just remember this being like short and quick and like not that interesting to me. I love her hockey romances. This one just felt like a little bit too smutty for me. I didn't really care. I think she was like the coach's daughter or something. I remember being at like weird. There was like a weird aspect in the book, and I think it was because of that. I would not recommend this book unless you want to give it a try yourself. And then another honorable mention for a DNF that I had, I believe at the end of April, and that was The Red Scrolls of Magic by Cassandra Clare and somebody else. This is a side series or whatever that you're supposed to read after the first like 3 books of one of her series. Her universe is huge. It's massive. There are so many different ways to read it, but I saw that you're supposed to read this book before starting the trilogy, The Infernal Devices. I think it's The Infernal Devices. I did not like the characters that this follows, and I don't think it's like a necessity for me to read this like little series or read this book, so I just decided to DNF it because I wasn't that interested and I didn't really want to waste my time. May. We've made it to May. My favorite book of May was Glow of the Everflame by Penn Cole. This is the second book in the Kindred Curse series. I can't talk too much about this book, but I almost gave this book 5 stars. I think it was like a 4.75, really high up there. I love this series. If you are looking for like a fantasy romance with like an interesting magic system and yearning, if you're looking for yearning, I would recommend this series. I just overall liked the way the first book ended. I really like Penn Cole's writing style. I'd love to see how everything unfolded in this second book with the romance and the plot, and I'm hoping to continue the series in 2026. And then my least favorite for May was Simply Mine by Laura Pavlov. This, I believe, is the 4th book in the Honey Mountain series. This is like a small town romance series. I believe these ones have like a little bit of a mystery aspect, or at least the first couple did. I could be mistaken. These are just, again, fun, quick, like palette cleanser books, and I love me a small town series. Best friend's older brother, which I love that trope. I feel like it's so fun, but I felt like this one took over a span of like a couple weeks, and that is just like not my thing. I want like emotional depth, and that's really all I can remember from it. Let's move on to June. Alrighty besties, halfway through this video. My favorite of June is probably also one of my like favorites like overall this year, and it is Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. I like reference this book honestly all the time. When I'm reading a second chance romance, I always compare them to this book because the way this one was done with everything was my ideal second chance romance, and nobody ever does it like this. So that's why I never liked them before. This is the last book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I love this series so much. I love Lila Sage's writing. I love the cowboy vibes, and this is about Cam and Dusty, and basically they had a little bit of like a romance when they were like in high school-ish time, but something ended up happening, and now it's like many years later. She now is a single mom, like ish, and I believe he's coming back to town, or she's coming down to town. This book is just so good. You get a past and a present timeline. When I read something like that, it does add to the emotional depth of the book, and overall that's what like sold this book for me, is that we saw these two characters fall into love when they were younger and then fall out of love, and then in the present timeline you're seeing them like trying to rebuild their relationship, like they're still like unsure about everything, but seeing them work everything out. It's just like having a past and present timeline adds to the depth of the characters and the depth of their romance, and I love an emotional romance, and like this overall just like it had it all. I just read a book and my boyfriend like asked if I liked it, and I was like, which I'll talk about it, but I was like, it was okay. It was a second chance romance, but it wasn't done the way I wanted. And then I was like, I wanted it to be like this book, and I referenced this book to him. I didn't think this was going to be my favorite in the series. If you're an author watching out there, read this book and make a second chance book like this, and I will probably read it and give it 5 stars. And I'm so sad that this series is over. I'm so upset. I would recommend this series overall, but this was my favorite in the series. And then my least favorite book from June was Fearless by Lauren Roberts. This is the 3rd book in the Powerless trilogy, I think it's what it's called. I think I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars, but I would definitely bump it down to like a 3 or like lower. This is like a personal thing for me, but I overall just didn't like how long this book was. I didn't like the way the book ended. I did not like where Lila Sage took the plot like overall for this series, and again, that's like there's not anything I can do about it. It's probably like a stupid reason not to like the book. The only thing thing I liked about it was Kai and Peyton's like love story. Their love story is very poetic. I just felt like roping that other character into everything, and then the plot twist that came with that same character. Why are we doing this? I wish I loved it like everybody else. On to July. My favorite book of July was Wild Side by Elsie Silver. This is the third book in the Rose Hill series. This is about Reese and Tabitha, and I've been waiting for Reese's story. Honestly, he's kind of been a mystery, and Tabitha's also been kind of like a mystery. I just love Elsie Silver. I will read anything that she does come out with, and although this was not my favorite in the series, I really did enjoy it. Like, any man who's named Reese is just automatically like the best, hottest character to ever be like talked about ever. I feel like overall I did not give this a 5 stars. I think I give it like 4.5. I just wish we got more between her like nephew that she became the guardian of, who also Reese became the guardian of. I wish we got more scenes with them and their connection, and them just like co-parenting, I guess, the child. I wish there was a little bit more depth to that, because that's kind of like what the plot is. And then my least favorite was One Timer by Tegan Hunter. This is part of the Carolina Comets series. I think this is like a 7-book like hockey romance series. This one was Accidental Pregnancy. I just don't like that trope. But yeah, I think I gave it like 2 stars. We have an honorable mention for July, and it was Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I read, I believe, Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. I think I finished it. I did not really love that book. It was also like a pregnancy kind of situation. This one, I remember I just didn't like the characters, and I didn't really love the writing, and I didn't really love the plot. I overall remember just not caring. Alrighty besties, on to August. My favorite book from August was Shield of Spirals by Devney Perry. This is her first like fantasy romance that she came out with. Second book is coming out, I believe, in the year 2026 at some point. This and Silver Elite were like booming for like 2 months straight. It was either the girlies were reading Silver Elite or they were reading this book. I remember enjoying this one. I don't remember too much from the plot. I think I gave this book 4 stars. It was entertaining. I think there's something to do with like a princess, but it's Devney Perry, so her writing was actually kind of easy, and I feel like the magic system, from what I remember, wasn't too hard to understand, or there wasn't a lot of magical aspects. Like, it wasn't too complicated. My least favorite from August was Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I think I gave this like 3 stars. This was just very kinky, and I just did not prefer that too much, and I just didn't really care for the plot, the characters, and there was just one character that just like lingered the whole entire time. It was like the ex-girlfriend, and I just didn't like how much she was in the book. She got on my nerves. 3 stars for this one. Again, me and Ali Hazelwood, we got that love-hate relationship. We are on to September, the birthday month, the best month, if you had to ask me. My favorite from the month of September was Seeing Red by Bailey Hannah. This is the second book in the Wells Ranch series, obviously a cowboy romance series. And the funny thing about this one is it actually is Accidental Pregnancy, but this one was better. I actually gave it like 4 stars or something. Yeah, there was just some way that this, not that I remember, but there was a way that this Accidental Pregnancy was done that wasn't too like focused on like the female main character's like hormones throughout the pregnancy. I think that's my thing about Accidental Pregnancy, is that I don't like how the female main character acts. It's a little weird. I liked the writing, I liked the small town, I liked the cowboy vibes. I would recommend the series. And then my least fave of September was Collide by, I can't remember the author's name. This is a college hockey romance. I overall just like, I didn't care. I felt like there wasn't too much depth to these like characters. I decided not to continue with the series because I really don't care that much. Just not very memorable. We're on to October. My favorite of October was Soul Searching by Lila Sage. She was the author of Wild and Wrangled. This is like her new series that I think she's going to be writing, and it's like paranormal type vibes. Female main character can like see and talk to ghosts. That's kind of like the whole plot. This one was perfect for October. Like the most perfect spooky vibes. The town is just so like eerie. I think the only thing is like I didn't really feel the connection between the 2 characters. Like I felt like for this book it was a lot more her trying to like fix her relationship with her family and her sister and help her family save their antique shop and just figure out what she wants to do in her life, and not so much like on the romance. I'm very excited to continue. The next book is about her sister, so I'm very interested to see how all of that's gonna go. I feel like you should save it for spooky season, but if you want to read it now, nobody's stopping you. But I really did enjoy it and would recommend it. And then my least favorite for October was Fall I Want. This was supposed to be some like cute, cozy little fall read, and I did not love it. I feel like it was really cringy and just like not gelling with this writing or plot. I should have just DNF'd it, but I thought it would get better, and it did not. 2 more months to go, guys. I will try to make this quick. November. Favorite book was Diary-Bound. I just talked about this in a couple videos actually, but this is the first book in A Wolves of Ruin. If you like Fourth Wing and you like Quicksilver, those kind of vibes, I would definitely recommend giving this series a try. I really loved it. I loved the writing. I loved the plot. I thought this was a really solid like first book, well-written first book in a series. I did not give it 5 stars. It was close. Loved the little hint of romance. I loved the wolf aspect. Like there was a lot about this book that I really did enjoy. It's so good. Trust me, if you've seen this book around, I did not see too much about it until I saw like a couple things on TikTok. I need my romance between Stark and Meryn. Like just give it to me now. Definitely like high up there on like my favorites of the year or books I really enjoyed. All right, and then my least favorite book, I guess, or the book I didn't love that much in the month of November was actually Wildcard by Elsie Silver. This is the 4th book and the last book in the Rose Hill series. So this is about Sebastian and Gwen. Basically, it's like ex-boyfriend's dad. I didn't love it. Honestly, I felt like there was obviously that lingering fact of like he's trying to build this relationship with his son, but this is his son's ex-girlfriend. So like the son is always going to be there. It's always going to be like a weird, awkward situation. And I felt like these characters just never like got to be like settled in with each other. Didn't connect to any of the characters and like the plot or anything. I don't think Ex-Boyfriend's Dad is for me. I feel like Elsie Silver probably did it in a way that I kind of enjoyed it. I will read anything that Elsie Silver writes. So I did want to give it a try. Alright, besties, we made it to December. So obviously it's not the end of December yet. I am literally filming this like 2 days before I have to post it. So it's currently only the 21st. So I still have the whole month of December to like go. Whatever book I'm reading right now is probably gonna be the last book I'm gonna finish. So I was like, let me just film this video. I'll add December. Okay, so my favorite is a book that I haven't even started yet, but after the book I finish right now, I am going to start it, and I will not finish it unless I become like super reader. I'm just gonna say it's gonna be my favorite, and it's gonna be Kingdom of Ash. I've had the urge to pick this up. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna start it at least in the year 2025, and I have a feeling it's just gonna be my favorite. It's time to finish the series, to go through the emotional pain, the gut-wrenching everything that is going to be this book. I am extremely scared. I am stressed. I don't think I'm emotionally ready, but will I ever be? It's now or it's never. And then like my least favorite book, again, I haven't read too much this month. I think I've read like 2 or 3 books, so I don't really have like a least favorite at this moment other than like a DNF, which will be an honorable mention. I'm just gonna go with Change of Heart. This is the 3rd book in the Wells Ranch series. This is the book I was talking about that I mentioned earlier that I wanted to be like Riled and Raygold. Like we did get some like back and forth like past and present timelines, but the thing about Wild and Raygold is that it did not become a physical relationship until well over halfway into the book, like 60% or something, where this one was all like lusty talk before they were together, not so much like a deep emotional connection of someone that they were already with and want to like learn this new person. Not like a bad book. I am liking the series and the found family and the ranch vibes. And then my last honorable mention, because I did have a DNF this month, was Breathe With Me by Becca Mack, last book in the Playing for Keeps series. This book, I'm just going to quickly talk about it. This is about Kara and Emmett. They've been like talked about throughout the whole entire series because they've been like married and together through like all of the other books, and they're basically having infertility. I think it's infertility problems. They're having trouble like having a child. Like that's what they want to do is their next step in life, but they're having problems with that. And when I tell you that every single page or every single chapter in the first 88 pages, because that's when I DNF'd it, had smut. Like why? I thought this was going to be a beautiful, emotionally heavy book, and we had smut every single page. Like they're literally in the doctor's office talking about what they can do to try to have a child, and he's talking about the way he cannot have sex with her for 6 days because of it. I'm like, no, why? I really don't think I'm gonna come back to this book. The writing is just cringy. The characters just say the most weird things for being like literally like 30 years old. Why are we acting this way at this age? I have no words for how this book was. Alrighty, besties. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of like a month to month kind of wrap up, I guess, of the year. I can't believe it's pretty much the end. I think I have this video and one more video going up until it's 2026. This video is going up on Christmas Eve actually, so Merry Christmas to all that celebrate. If you do not celebrate, enjoy some time off. If you're with family, read a book. That is it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to follow all my socials down below, along with my Goodreads, my Amazon wishlist, stuff like that is linked down there if you want to check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, and join me. And I'll see you guys next week for what I believe is my January TBR. That's crazy. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!